And now let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, visiting Lady Reds from Carthage College. Starting on the guard line of 5'5" senior number 14, Morgan Harris. A 5'8" sophomore guard number 22, Adam Kalis. The other guard of 5'8" junior number 25, Bailey Gilbert. A one forward of 5'10" junior number 3, Rachel Sidlowski. And the other forward, a 6' sophomore number 30, Maggie Berrigan. Lady Reds are coached by Tim Bernera, assisted by Maggie McCloskey-Max, Katie Otto, and Gracie Sanchez.
Welcome to Gregory Arena on the campus of North Central College. Kevin Jackman, Zach Bucher here as the Cardinals host the Lady Reds from Carthage. Should be a good matchup tonight. Hello and welcome to this NCTV 17 production of Cardinal basketball. NCC comes in with an 0-5 record. Carthage 4-2, though they dropped their opening CCIW game to Illinois Wesleyan to fall to 0-1 in the conference play. Cardinals also 0-1. Dropping a game to North Park. So let's see which team is going to pick up their first win in conference play in 2017. The jump ball goes out of bounds, awarded to NCC. And we are underway. Mason Whipple over to the near side. Andrea Dickerson with a shot. Wide right and off the mark. Carthage without one of the best players in the conference, certainly their best player. Doesn't hurt them here. The basket converted on the other side of the floor by Autumn Kalis. Near side Dickerson. Shot near side, banked in. That is from Hannah Victus. 9:15 first quarter, and the Cardinals battling with a double team, and it is knocked out of bounds, belongs to the Lady Red. Jump shot blocked by Whipple. Gets it right back, and here she comes racing up the floor. Into the lane, kicks out to Michaela Reedy. Reedy kicks over to Dickerson. Dickerson had space, didn't pull. Back to Reedy. Whipple surveys, 12 on the shot clock, goes out to Maya Walls. A high arcing three is off to the right side of the rim. Last touch by Dickerson and out of play. Pretty fast, blistering pace to this game, Zach, and it looks like both teams are pretty content with taking an outside shot.
Yeah, so far, not many shots inside the three-point line, the only one being blocked. Hopefully the Cardinals will start to work the ball in down low because they're struggling on offense so far to start the season.
8:30 to go, first quarter. Pass converted over to Morgan Harris. Dumped down low, and a foul on Maya Walls. Diving to the basket is Rachel Silowski. She'll go to the line for 2.
And defense is another thing that the Cardinals really haven't gotten figured out yet here to start the new season.
First free throw is short. Not only has the defense been relatively porous, but the offense hasn't been scoring at the same pace they have in recent years. The combination is going to lead to that 0-5 record.
Yeah, absolutely. Opponents shooting scoring 73 points a game against them, and them only averaging 62 points per game. It's not going to lead to a lot of W's if they can't get it figured out.
Trying to go to a more traditional offensive set as Walls takes a 3, banks it home as well. Second bank 3 of the game for North Central.
Those are nice when they fall, and they still get the crowd going and whatnot, but not really what you want to see early on is a couple of banks to start the game.
As a shooter, that's almost a cringeworthy make.
You take it, but agreed.
Turnaround floater, no good, out of the hands of Maggie Bergen. Whipple quickly up the floor, now settles down over the Walls to the corner, and Reedy. Reedy slips the screen, blocked on the shot attempt. The rejection coming from Kalis. And now the Lady Reds push it up the floor. Down low. And the finger roll is not good. The follow-up is. And Bergen has herself a basket.
On a possession like that, you really have to come down and try and help Vickers on the low post. Clearly outmatched. And really you need help defense if you're going to keep those offensive rebounds out.
The miss comes from Vickers. Cross court. A 3, well short, popped up. Vickers corrals it. Shot coming from Kalis, who opened the scoring with a 3. Dickerson in motion, banks it off the back of the rim, and the ball last touched by Vickers. And some more substitutions will come in for North Central following Lindsey Brennan. Checking in is the freshman point guard, Hayden Braun, who has looked really good so far in this first 5-game sample size. As she tag teams Mason Whipple to the bench, Sierra O'Neal also checks in for the first time tonight.
Yeah, Braun is something that it seems like the Cardinals really like having coming off the bench, especially now that Mason Whipple has found her stride and started playing really well the past couple of games.
Cardinals may not have been able to pull out a win against North Park, but Mason Whipple scoring 19 points seems to have turned a corner even in the early season. And it's an offensive foul on Dickerson as she had a moving screen. But that's a good sign for North Central with Mason Whipple making what seems to be a full recovery.
Absolutely, especially from an injury such as an ACL injury. It does take a lot of mental struggles and physical struggles as well, but to see her start off a little sluggish but come back is really something you got to be excited about if you're North Central.
Beautiful pick and roll. Sidlowski with the basket off the feed from Kalis. And now the Lady Reds lead 8-6. Brennan trying to get across the screen over to Braun. 13 on the shot clock, a drive and a shot. It's good.
And that's what the Cardinals need more of here to start the game. Not way too many threes to start the game. Interesting little tidbit. The Cardinals have 156 shot attempts on threes coming into the game, whereas Carthage has 78.
Make that 79 for that one. Splash. Bottom of the net for Bailey Gilbert. And a three-point advantage for the visitors early on. A dive to the basket. O'Neal cannot connect. Instead, the rebound into the hands of the Lady Reds, who rush up the floor. Squares, shooting, and good. Sammy Woodward connects from deep. Quickly a 6-point deficit in a matter of what, 35 seconds?
Yeah, and that is why the three has become so popular in today's game, is it can literally change the course of a game in less than a blink of an eye.
Hayden looked like she might have had one in herself, and it rattled out. 14-8, 4:30 to go, first quarter. Shot off the glass, no good, left short, but a foul. And going to the free throw line will be Bailey Gilbert, a junior from Sycamore, Illinois.
Bailey Gilbert to the line, shooting 2.
Third team foul on North Central. The second charge to Dickerson.
Into the game for Cardinals, number 5. Diamond
Natalie Dimitrova will come in, as will Diamond Calicott. Off the floor, Vickus and Dickerson. Diamond Calicott tied with Maya Walls for the team lead at 6.8 rebounds a game. Just 5'8", but she is tenacious underneath the basket.
And when it comes to rebounding,
Outside, Dimitrova, 4 seconds, kicks it out. Brennan, shot fakes, now the jumper from the elbow, and it's good. Shot clock bearing down on you, and a tough shot converted by the sophomore.
but those are shots you'll take as an offense. It was inside the three-point line. It was a wide open elbow jumper, and you should be able to knock that down.
Great move, dish outside, doesn't lead to a shot. And now a dangerous pass to the outside. No good, shot clock violation. Apologies for the technical difficulties. Some internet issues inside of Gregory Arena. And hopefully we won't be dealing with those for the entire duration of our contest tonight. So we will do everything in our power to stay on the air and bring you Cardinal basketball as they take on the Lady Reds. 16-13 first quarter of play, 2:34. Near side wing, shot attempt. Oh, almost came up and off the floor. And in and out, no good. Rebound into the hands of Whipple. And here she comes up the floor. Over to Brennan, the three. No good, but a foul. And it goes on Natalie Dimitrova. That is the fourth personal foul. Make that the fourth team foul.
Into the game for Cardinals, number 12, Jessica Dolly.
Jess Dolly checks in.
Checking in for the Lady Reds as well.
Maya Walls back onto the floor as well. Driving and dishing, the shot from the near side wing is good again. Sammy Woodward connects for the second time tonight.
And she's got some pretty good looks on offense, especially in the flow of her jump shot, and it's been working so far. Cardinals are going to have to key in on her on defense.
Down low, Walls fights through the trees and scores.
And that's the nice thing about Mason Whipple playing really well right now. Defenses have to be keen about her, and she's able to drive the lane and get a good look for her teammates.
Woodward over to the far side. Ellie Havlin from the free throw line extended, trying to get her own rebound, overshoots, and now Whipple has it. Bursting past the open floor. Dimitrova a three, high off the rim and glass. Now the throw ahead is picked off by NCC. Ahead to Whipple. 40 seconds remaining in this first quarter. Dimitrova cuts to the basket, shot up, it is good, count the basket and the foul.
And this is when the Cardinals offense is doing really well, is when they're driving the lane, getting good shot attempts up at the basket, or dishing off to a teammate and getting another look from them.
Natalie Dimitrova to the line to complete. 3-point play.
Out, and a foul goes against Paige Dessenberg over the back, and that'll result in free throws on the other end. 37 seconds remaining, and the Cardinals have found themselves in bonus. Relatively quick first quarter of play, and that was largely attributed to a lack of fouls.
Yeah, only 6 team fouls between the two teams through the first 10 minutes here. Unfortunately, 5 in favor of the Cardinals. So they're going to have to try and work that out in the second quarter, trying not to foul less, but still play good defense. (20-17). 37 seconds left. And the free throws are good. A 4-point advantage for the Lady Red. Whipple backs out for a 3. Thought you might have had the shooter's touch there. Yeah, those ones get you excited, especially when it is such a shot like that.
1 second left, and end of the first quarter. Not a bad quarter of play. This is a very good Carthage team. You trail by 4, and there's some positive signs in that first 10 minutes.
Yeah, there's definitely some positives you take out of that first quarter. They did really well to adjust to an early barrage of three-pointers by taking the ball inside, and they did play some good defense on certain possessions. So it's good to see that the game's only 4-point deficit after 1.
We'll step aside. We'll be right back at the start of the second quarter right here on NCTV 17 and on NCTV17.com. Welcome back for the second quarter of play from inside Gregory Arena. The Cardinals trailed the Lady Reds by 4, and Lindsey Brennan cuts to the basket. Now it's a dish out to Mason Whipple. Kicks it out, and a foul called, bailing out Brennan. And that's going to get charged to Maggie Berrigan. And now Bailey Gilbert checks in. These two teams split the season series last year. Cardinals won the opening matchup only to fall in Kenosha. Down low, Vickus cannot connect from short. And a foul as Dessenberg tried to cut to the basket. She was whacked. Kalis makes the whistles blow and picks up her first personal foul. Whipple with it, near side wing, goes against the grain and against the screen. Cannot get the shot to go, but Wall's right there, and the putback is good.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from the Cardinals offense early on. I keep talking about it, but inside baskets are really going to help keep them in this game. Higher percentage look, and it's not very often that you lose momentum because you're taking close shots.
Sedlowski from in and up close. Extends the lead back to 4. Whipple with the crossover and the pass over to Lindsey Brennan. Brennan around the corner. Floater's good. She looks aggressive tonight as well, trying to get to the basket.
Yes, and it's really nice to see all of the Cardinal players trying to be aggressive and get to the basket as opposed to pulling up for 3 points.
Shot bounces around, no good, an offensive foul on Sedlowski. And a great job underneath. I believe that was Vickus who forced a difficult shot from Sedlowski.
And that's going to be the key for North Central if they start playing this how they have been on offense early on with the good shot selection, is that they're going to have to buckle down on defense and really get those rebounds and make sure that they're not giving away good looks for the Lady Red.
Braun around a screen. Her lefty floater isn't good. Tapped around a number of times, and Sedlowski with the rebound. 8:12 to go, second quarter. Long pass into the corner. Off the back of the rim, no good, and a good box out from Vickus again. Brennan, U-turns, and now outside Vickus for 3. First lead of the night for NCC.
And honestly, that's the kind of offense that I really enjoy to watch, is the up-tempo, push the ball up court style of offense. Especially if a defense isn't ready for it, you get open looks like that almost all the time.
To the basket, up and under move isn't good. Sedlowski with the rebound and the putback to reclaim the lead at 25-24, 7:30 to go, second quarter. Braun scans the defense. Far side Brennan. It's been a catalyst seemingly tonight. Greedy inside the walls, to the basket, off the glass and good. And a timeout taken. Tim Bernero wants to talk it over with his Lady Reds team.
And I don't blame them. They're giving up a lot of inside looks, and we keep enforcing it, that it brings good things. And clearly, the Cardinals have proven that today so far.
7:09 to go, second quarter, and it's been a barrage of shots, both inside, outside, cutting to the basket, jump shots. Doesn't seem like the Lady Reds can cue in on any particular facet of the offensive game for NCC because they're doing it all.
And that's what happens when you're getting good looks. It opens up other facets of the game, and when you're hitting a lot of close-in shots, you get your confidence up. You start making those jump shots from 15, 18, 20 feet from the basket.
7:05 and a foul call. And they're going to call it on Braun. Her first and the team first in this second quarter. North Central by 1 over the 4-2 Lady Reds from Carthage. Taking the trip down from Kenosha. Jump shot, good. Silky smooth out of the hand of Autumn Kalis. Oh, and there's a travel.
Yeah, on something like that, you really can't. I understand it's a part of the play, but you really have to make sure that you keep your dribble on stuff like that. You can't be picking it up at almost midcourt.
Morgan Harris with it. Dribbling against Hayden Braun, and Braun picks up a second foul.
Returning for the Cardinals, number 3, Mason Whipple.
Whipple will check back in after Braun picks up her second. Thrown in, Sidlowski high off the glass, can't get it to drop. Rebound fought for and won by Carthage. Kicked outside. The three from Gilbert is well off the mark.
That was a good job. Even though they didn't get the defensive rebound, North Central limited them to having to push the ball back out and giving up a three-point shot, which much lower percentage.
As we just saw. Dickerson with it at the top, tries to go down low. It's too far out of the reach of Dimitrova. Down the bend, and a foul called on Whipple. That was drawn by Morgan Harris, and the third team foul now on NCC. 6 combined in the second quarter after 6 for the entire duration of the first. And it's Sidlowski converting underneath to give the Lady Reds a 3-point lead.
And the Lady Reds are really starting to notice that they have a little bit of an advantage down low on offense, and they're starting to work it with Sidlowski now.
Dickerson cannot get the 3 ball to go. Has been close a couple of times tonight, and she falls for the pump fake against Gilbert. Woodward drives and kicks, and now wide open at the elbow. No good. Out of the hands of Sidlowski, who has a handful of baskets so far tonight. Outside Dickerson to the top, Reedy. Reedy near side back to Whipple. Whipple eyeing Dimitrova underneath. Instead, it's Reedy for 3 off the left side of the rim, tapped out of bounds. Oh no, this will be a foul against Maya Walls over the back foul. Checking into the game is Jess Dolly and Diamond Calicott. .5:04 to go, second quarter. Three. No good. Long rebound into the hands of Michelle Roof over on the Cardinal bench. Morgan Harris missing wide. Whipple with the hesitation move, stops just inside the free throw line. Near side, Dolly drives baseline, kicks it over to Diamond Calicott, cannot get the high glass shot to go. Kick ball. It'll stay here.
Cardinals got lucky there. They need to communicate a little better on defense, as Lady Reds had a wide open look under the basket, if not for the kick ball.
Checking in for the first time is Morgan Vukovic. Sets the screen here. Shot, awkward angle. Morgan Harris still gets it to go, and now the Lady Red up by 5. Cardinals have had difficulty scoring in the last few minutes since taking the lead at 26-25. Whipple kicks to Calicott, and Calicott took too many steps before putting the ball on the floor.
And this is unfortunately what's happened with North Central here early on in the season. They'll get on a good stretch, and then they just can't keep it going out of a timeout or after a break. And it's something that they'll have to work on later on down the road, but hopefully they pick it up here later in the game.
Outside, Vukovic pivots and shoots and scores. To your point, the Cardinals scored just a combined 24 points between the first and third quarters against North Park a few days ago. You can't put up a combined 24 in just 2 quarters and beat a CCW team. That's just not going to happen.
No, and you can't put up 24 points, period, if you're a basketball team over the course of 2 quarters, because you're just not going to win games that way.
Whipple knocks down the 3, and there goes the scoring drought. And also there goes an 8-0 run for the Lady Red. Calicott defends. The shot good. Gilbert, despite the contact, converts. Whipple pushes, kicks outside Brennan. She'll drive. Lefty shot is good. These two teams going right after each other right now with under 3 to go in the first half. Intercepted by Dolly. Thrown ahead, Whipple. Whipple into the lane, over to Dolly. She'll cue up a three. 35-34. 2 minutes to play exactly in this second quarter.
That was a great stretch of time there by the Cardinals. Good read on the steal, and why not reward her down on the offensive end?
Shot no good, but a foul on Calicott, and it breaks the momentum for the moment.
That's also something that you haven't really seen out of the Cardinals so far this season, is a multitude of players contributing on the offensive end. Tonight we've had Brennan, we've had Whipple, Braun has a few good looks, and now with that,
Jess Dolly hit the three.
Yeah.
Turn to the Cardinals, number 21.
It's a nice balanced offensive scoring attack.
Number 34, Paige Jessenberg.
No good on the first. At the free throw line is Kalis. 1:46 to play, second quarter. Splits a pair. And the visitors up 2. Over to Sierra O'Neal. Thought about a three, now takes it. It's partially blocked. To your point, again, bad shot selection. You pass up a good shot, you take a contested shot, and it gets blocked.
Yeah, and that's something that I'm assuming Coach Roof will go over in halftime, and they'll probably iron it out in the second half.
Vickus short on the three as she's tried to step into it. And after a nice offensive run, back-to-back empty trips thanks to three-pointers off the mark. Long shot, long rebound, and here comes Brennan.
1 minute remaining in the half. 1 minute.
1 minute to go until the intermission. Brennan slows it down. Dolly thought about the three she hit about a minute earlier. 9 on the shot clock outside Dessenberg, over to Sierra O'Neal. O'Neal trying for the step-back jumper, goes into the lane, and the pass is off the mark. Last touch by a Cardinal player. Didn't really matter. There was maybe 1 second left on the shot clock.
And this is what we were talking about earlier. You get into a good groove on offense, and then you come down and put up a couple of bad three-point shots, and just like that, you're out of your offensive flow, and you become stagnant. You can't have that if you're the Cardinals right now.
Vukovic with 2 baskets already. Make that 3. Off the bench, she has 6 points. Seemingly energizing her team as O'Neal pulls the 3 and is off the mark. And with 2 seconds left, Carthage will hold, and halftime is here. North Central pulls back into the game only to see the Lady Reds put up and go on a nice offensive run, and they lead 40-34 at the break. We'll be back on the other side. 15-minute timeout. We'll be back on NCTV 17 and on nctv17.com. Welcome back to NCTV 17 and a production of Cardinal Basketball. Kevin Jackman, Zach Bucher here. Carthage leads North Central 40-34 following the break, and they have the ball first. Fun first half, and as a typical basketball game, it was full of runs. Shot from Sidlowski, who leads the Lady Reds in scoring with 9 points, skips off the backboard. Across the other way, and Mason Whipple has it and still has it. Maya Walls for 3. Cannot connect. Good look, though.
A good look, but in my opinion, I don't think that's really her range, and she really shouldn't be taking too many of those shots.
Shot good. That was from Maggie Berrigan. Underneath Walls, outside Dickerson. All in one motion. In and out, no good. Now that is exactly Dickerson's range, and she has come extremely close a few times to connecting. Another Sidlowski miss to open up this second half, and Whipple trying to push in transition. Pulls it out, and now surveys. Dickerson into the lane, the floater no good, tipped around, and last touch by the Lady Reds. I thought it was off of Dickerson, but it was not what the baseline official thought.
I think Sidlowski might have gotten a hand in there at the last second.
Whipple underneath the baseline, finally gets it in over to Michaela Reedy. Near side Vickus. Spins into the lane off the glass and just off. Nice move.
Yes, very nice move. Just unfortunately didn't have too good a control going to the basket.
Turnaround jumper, no, but right there is Vukovic. She can't follow it up. She kicks it out instead. Some great minutes off the bench for Vukovic. The shot off the mark, and it's Whipple bringing it down and whipping it up. Here she comes, winding into the lane. The hurried shot is off the front of the rim. Didn't seem like she had anywhere to go with that basketball and just flung it up.
Yeah, it really seemed like she wanted to do something with that particular play, and at the last second kind of just threw up a shot. I think in a situation like that, you really have to continue your momentum and just kind of bring it back out and reset.
Vukovic with a nice move to the basket, and she'll draw the foul and a couple of free throws coming up. First foul on either team in this third quarter. First free throw is good. It rattles home. Cardinals, 2 minutes and 11 seconds into this third quarter, have yet to score. Splits a pair and a foul. Charge to Maggie Berrigan. Keep in mind the Cardinals made that nice run to get right back into the game. They were within one, 35-34. And since then, an 8-0 run between the second and third quarters has the Lady Reds on top by 9.
Yeah, and what that comes down to is shot selection. Obviously, a couple of threes here early on to start the second half for the Cardinals. And when you're trying to get back into the flow of your offense, if you're hitting them, they do a good job, three-pointers that is, but you really want to try and start from the inside out. How they like, especially how they were in the first quarter, where they did play really well.
Gilbert drives and floats one up, no good. Walls plucks it down. Braun missed a moment earlier. A lot of contact underneath the hoop. Just one free throw in that first half for NCC. They were 0 for 1 from the charity stripe.
Yeah, the Lady Reds doing a very good job of playing defense without fouling. Obviously limiting the Cardinals to their only free throw attempt on a and one.
Maggie Berrigan picking up her 4th personal foul. And we're just 3.5 minutes into the third quarter. One more and she's gone for the night. In checks Rachel Sidlowski, who is 4 for 9 from the floor. A handoff to Braun with a new shot clock. Jess Dowling at the top, right over to Braun. Braun trying to go down low to Diamond Calicott, who shifts back and forth. Now she'll drive baseline. The pass tipped and out of play. 12 on the shot clock. The Cardinals seem to be stagnant on the offensive end. Not a lot of movement. And the result of which, still no points in the second half.
Yeah, and it seems like when they do become stagnant on offense, you do see a lot of that not moving around on the offensive end.
On the travel, Braun tried to reset her feet after the shovel pass from Brennan. When it rains, it pours, it seems like, on the offensive end for the Cardinals, and it's raining cats and dogs right now.
Yeah, unfortunately, just a badly timed turnover there after getting the turnover in your favor just moments before.
Nice little jump cut into the lane, and scoring is Kalis. Opens up a double-digit lead for the visitors, and the three is off the mark from Walls. Pinballs around and last touch by the Cardinals. 5:45 to play. And North Central searching for answers.
I think at this point, if you're Coach Roof, you might consider calling a timeout here and trying to get your players back into what they need to be doing on the offensive end, because whatever they're doing right now just isn't cutting it.
Vukovic steps through and can't hit it. Walls able to stick close enough by to force what was an easy shot into a little bit of a more difficult shot.
You're the classic case of $1 million move and 10-cent finish.
I like that. Braun off the mark, and she just can't seem to find a way to get it to go. Is there a lid on this basket off to the right of us?
It sure might seem like it, especially halfway through the third quarter now.
Still no points for NCC in this third quarter, and a timeout taken, a 30-second break. So there you go. They're going to try and regroup. Honestly, what do you say in the huddle right now? Because you could say the obvious, hey, we need to score, but the question is how?
I think in this kind of a situation, the Lady Reds haven't really pulled away, per se. If you're Coach Roof, you got to just build the confidence of your players, get them back out there, tell them, whatever you're doing on offense, it's not working right now, but stay with it. Stay with our game plan, because our game plan is to do whatever, and it'll work if you stick with it.
And a lot of that is quick three-point attempts and quick cuts to the basket. It's just a matter of knocking down those shots, and so far in the third quarter, the Cardinals have not done that. And it also turned the ball over a lot, too.
Exactly, and it especially hurts you as an offense if you're driving to the basket and you're not getting those fouls that you hope for. As we mentioned before, the Lady Reds playing really good defense without fouling throughout the game.
Dimitrova trying to set a pick for Whipple. Instead, gets the ball and takes a three. It's short. And the rebound fought for. It's a jump ball awarded to NCC. Vukovic was tied up by Brennan and Dimitrova. So an inbound pass coming. Gets it into Walls. Right back to Whipple. Maybe she has to be the spark. She'll take the jumper. There it is. Takes matters into her own hands.
Yes, and that's something that from a senior player with a lot of experience under her belt, you kind of want something like that to happen. You want to see her take charge of the team. Say, this is my team. I'm going to get us going no matter what the cost.
To the top with Karras. Sidlowski from inside the three-point line. Drains it. showing off some range as Whipple kicks it out. Into the lane, Dolly leaves it short. Here comes the Lady Reds. Outside Vukovic. And they're going to try and reset with half a shot clock to work with. Walls knocks it away into the hands of Dolly, and here comes Whipple. 47-36, third quarter. The Cardinals with one basket in it. Belongs to Mason Whipple. Walls gets a second. Back to a 9-point affair.
Unfortunately, you can't push the offense every time because there will be moments where it's just not the right time. But that is what is working for the Cardinals right now. They're running the first quarter. They were pushing the tempo, getting the ball to the court. Mason Whipple at the helm with that. And as we just saw there, it's working. So when you can, use it.
Offensive foul on Vukovic, pushing off. And the rebound attempt gives the Cardinals the ball. Whipple drives hard to the basket, kicks it out, sets the wheels in motion. Far side, Sierra O'Neal. Back to Whipple. Screen from Walls to the right if she wants it. She does not. Instead, Dimitrova pulls and knocks it down at three-pointer. Dimitrova pulls them to within 6. Question is, can they sustain this run?
And that is the big question for the Cardinals all season, as big runs are followed with lulls in the offense, and that's, you just can't have that.
Morgan Harris to the line shooting 2.
Morgan Harris at the free throw line. And rolls in the first. Short on the second, and the rebound pulled down by Jess Dolly. Whipple shakes free for a moment, shakes free again, off the glass and good! Woo!
And that's what you need out of your senior leader, is to have moves like that and to get your offense going.
Dimitrova to Whipple. Let's see what she has for an encore. How about an assist? And not that time. Dolly, the offensive rebound. And a jump ball. Hold on one moment. We might have a conference between the officials. And a jump ball awarded.
Jump ball belongs to the Lady Reds.
I think the situation there is that Michelle Roof was arguing that she might have called timeout prior to the jump ball.
That's what it looked like to me as well. Minute 45, third quarter. The Cardinals trail by 5. The jump ball gives Carthage the basketball, but the possession arrow flips back to NCC. Outside, Harris gets a screen from Sidlowski, tries to slip to the basket. Instead it goes to Kalis. Kalis, a tough shot, and somehow manages to sneak it through. Seemed like an impossible angle.
Yeah, but she's been shooting the ball really well here today, and great body control on that.
Foul as Dolly gets bumped from behind. It'll go against Gilbert. That is the 4th team foul. A minute 10 remaining in this third quarter. Whipple to inbound. Over to Rebecca Foley. Back out Whipple for 3, short and well off the mark.
1 minute remaining in the period. 1 minute.
60 ticks left until the 4th arrives. Gilbert to the basket. Sidlowski right there with her. Back to a 9-point game. Problem is, while it's nice to have Whipple as a spark plug, she can't do all the heavy lifting.
Yeah, and that's the unfortunate part, and that's why earlier on in the game it was so nice to see multiple players contributing on the offensive end.
3, Wayward. Deep pass, Sidlowski. It looks like Carthage will hold for the final shot of the quarter. That one's well off the mark. 4 seconds left. Plenty of time to get up the floor, which Whipple does. Shakes loose the 3. Oh! Wow. Almost hits a long 3-point attempt. Instead, it is 52-43 as we have reached the 4th quarter inside Gregory Arena. And we mentioned it just a moment earlier. It is a question of whether or not the Cardinals can sustain a run. Getting back into the game hasn't been the issue in this contest. It's been getting over the hump. They haven't done that.
No, they haven't, and like as you mentioned, they haven't really lost the game plan, and had the game get away from them. They've been able to stay in the game and do good things, but then you throw out the bad things and you turn the ball over here, or you shoot a bad 3 there, and one thing just leads to another, and it's a domino effect. It works the same way with a run as it does with stalling your offense.
Seems like those miscues tend to snowball. One bad shot, one turnover seems to multiply, and then all of a sudden you're 5 possessions later and you haven't scored, and then all of a sudden it's back to a 9-point game, which is where we're at right now.
And that's something like that. It really comes down to the mentality of your players to move along from that play. Don't dwell on a bad turnover or a missed shot. Get back on defense, get back on offense, play the next possession, and do your best.
Cardinals will get the ball to start this 4th. Sierra O'Neal over to Mason Whipple. We are underway, a final 10 minutes left. Over to Diamond Calicott. Had a travel called on Diamond. Second time tonight she's been called for that same infraction.
Yeah, that's a tough one. It's hard to see from our angle over here, it being on the other side of the court, but if it happened earlier in the game, she must be doing something wrong.
Three taken. High off the glass, no good, and it's tipped out of bounds by Mason Whipple. Another problem is that Whipple will have to sit at some point.
Yeah, and it is up to Braun at that point to come off the bench and replace her and provide that spark. Maybe a little too much to expect out of the freshman, but she has played well early on in the season.
Whipple at the floor, beautiful pass, Brennan, and Calicott wasn't ready on the other end, but still manages to hit the bucket.
And we've seen them push the ball and up the tempo so many times over the course of this season so far. I'm pretty sure that's one of the first times I've seen them convert a layup.
And there was a tic-tac-toe passing too, well organized.
That is the fast break executed to perfection.
Up and under move, no good. On the first attempt, it is on the second. And Sidlowski in double figures. Whipple at the top, down low. Sierra O'Neal comes out the other side. Three. Yes!
That was a good job by O'Neal to notice the player falling on the, for the Lady Reds and just collecting herself and taking a good jump shot.
Three taken, Gilbert, short, and it was last touched by Whipple. And it looks like we'll have a 3-player swap, and that includes Mason Whipple, who will head to the bench.
now it's going to be up to the second group to continue the offensive pressure that they've applied here in the last couple minutes.
Stripped. Dickerson takes to the floor, and it's a foul on the Lady Reds.
Lady Red foul number 14, Morgan Harris. Reverse.
Harris
First team foul.
caused Dickerson to hit the hardwood. And that's the first team foul for either team, and it belongs to Carthage. Good tenacity on the defensive end for the Cardinals.
Oh yeah, and they've really been aggressive on defense tonight, all night. So it's no surprise to see them going after it, especially only being down 6. This is a very reachable and winnable game right now.
3 taken by Braun. Short, walls the rebound, and draws a foul. Gets her bench to give her a standing ovation. And she'll go to the line to try and add on 2 points and get over the half-century mark.
And the Cardinals have not had a lot of free throw opportunities here tonight, so unfortunately she misses the first. These were going to be very key free throws. You can't really turn down free points.
Splits a pair. And it's back to within 5 with 7:39 to go in the game. Harris with an expected double team coming. And it does, and she loses it out of bounds. Braun clapping, understanding that every turnover is a crucial one for the Cardinals.
And it's up to them to then convert it on offense. You need good shots, and you need to convert on those turnovers because they will provide big points.
Dickerson at the top. Walls wide open for 3. Drains it right in front of her own bench. Harris falls down, throws it over Silowski's way. Quick touch pass to Kalis, and they're able to get past the midway point on the court. Batted away, Lindsey Brennan with the steal, can tie it with a layup. 54, and she can add on another.
And this is exactly what we've been talking about all night, is getting a run and sustaining the run and keeping it going. The Cardinals really hyped up right now, and they need to carry it through this timeout.
Full minute timeout taken by Carthage. Will step aside. We'll be back on the other side at NCTV 17. Welcome back following the timeout taken by the Lady Reds. And Lindsey Brennan will attempt to give the Cardinals their first lead of the second half. And she does. Knocks it through to make it a 55-54 score.
And this is a point in the game where your full court press defense can really make or break it. They've been really good the last couple of possessions. Almost another turnover there. But what you're going to need to do that the Cardinals have struggled in the past is apply the pressure, but make sure you get back on defense when they do break the full court.
55-54, 6:40 to play, fourth quarter. Harris trying to shake free of Braun. Keep in mind, this run has taken place after Whipple has exited the game, so she'll Be nice and rested for the stretch run. Sidlowski with the offensive board, blocked. Has to kick it out and they'll reset. Kalis to the far side, Gilbert. Shot fake, step back, a three. Short. Board for Lindsey Brennan, and here she comes. The number's not in their favor. She'll back it out. Sierra O'Neal a three. Almost banks it in. Brennan, the offensive rebound, but it gets stripped. And here come the Lady Reds. Harris loses the basketball and no foul call.
Tough call there for any ref to make, but I think it was a good clean. She just kind of tripped over herself, and a good job by Braun to make sure that the ref knew that I didn't do it.
Whipple checks back in with 6 minutes to play. Cardinal bench clapping, making some noise, as are some of the fans on this north end of the court. Dump down low, Dimitrova into the lane. The shot up and good. 3-point lead. Cardinals still searching for their first victory of the season. They're 0-5. Vukovic into the lane, kicks it out. Kalis wide open, hits a couple tonight and hits a third. Ties the game up at 57. At this point, it would be a heartbreaking 6th loss if NCC cannot pull this out. Brennan, floater, in! Rattles it home!
It would be a heartbreaking loss, but it's going to really show the fortitude of the Cardinals team as a whole if they can pull it off.
Outside O'Neal, Dimitrova open in the corner. Drives baseline, Sidlowski blocks her, and she stepped out of bounds.
Turning for the Cardinals, number 12, Jessica Dowd.
And it's really going to come down to in the final stretch is the Cardinals making sure that they continue to get good looks, make sure they continue to apply offensive pressure, and make sure that they make good shots.
NCC up to Vukovic to the rim, and hold on a moment, a travel call. Seemed like everybody in the arena was aware of it. Just took the officials just a hot second to call it. I see you doing the rumbling routine over to the left of me, partner.
Yeah, that's a very key turnover, because now this is where you, as the Cardinals, you can extend the lead, and that's something that they really would help benefit them in the long run.
Whipple the three, it's too strong off the back of the iron. Had Dickerson curling around a screen at the top of the key, it might have been a better option. Sidlowski, 3-point line extended. Gilbert drives, scoops, cannot score, but will go to the free throw line.
And it'll be interesting to see after these free throws, the first half-court set for the Cardinals, where we see Mason Whipple and Braun on the court at the same time since opening weekend.
That would be true. Knocks down a pair, 59 all. It's Whipple who will handle the point guard duties. Braun on the near side wing, comes off a screen. Whipple outside. Dolly kicks across, should have been a travel call. Instead it's a missed shot, and the Lady Reds have it. And a foul on Dimitrova. That is a 4th foul on the Cardinals as a team. I'll make that a 3rd. Second on Dimitrova. And Dolly and Braun check out. Lindsey Brennan, who has played really well tonight, checks back in. Gilbert a three. No, Vukovic the board, but a foul on the floor against North Central, and it's against Dickerson. Vukovic, speaking of playing well, it's been a catalyst off the bench for Carthage.
Yeah, she's got a lot of extended playing time here tonight, especially with Maggie Bergeron having some foul trouble through 3 quarters. and she's provided.
Sadlowski at the top, near side. Harris passes up a three, now tries to step back. Knocks it home. 62-59, 3:20 to play. Whipple with it at the top. Outside Walls. She'll try and tie it up, and she does.
Not really the shot you want her taking. She had made one earlier, but that one was a lot better than this one. But hey, you're not complaining if they're falling.
Offensive foul on Vukovic. No. That was on 14, I believe. 4. It was on Sammy Woodward. I didn't even see where she was on the play.
Your side.
62-62 with 2:40 to play. Brennan into the lane, high off the glass, and can't get it to go. Which team will blink? Sadlowski steps through and steps up. Walls wants it for the lead. Off the mark. Woodward the rebound. He turns out and resets. Scratch that, takes a three, and it's well off the mark. Save from going out of bounds by Harris, and Vukovic with the put in. That's a crucial play.
Absolutely, and a lot of coaches will make it a key to stress hustle, and it's a perfect situation right there. Is Cardinals thought, oh, it's just going to bounce out of bounds, we'll get the ball. But no, you have to make sure that you're always hustling, always going after the ball until you absolutely know for sure that it is a dead ball. And hopefully it won't prove a turning point, but it's going to be up to the Cardinals now to bounce back.
Big play from Harris, saving that one from going out of bounds, and Vukovic for converting on the other end. Now the Cardinals trail by 4 with 2:01 remaining in the game. Whipple directing traffic. Hands off to Brennan. Brennan outside Dickerson. Right back to Brennan. Steps into the lane and gets it to go. Back to within 2 we go. Vukovic backs her way in. Spins off the side of the backboard.
Good defense there by Dickerson. Earlier in the game, move was working for Vukovic.
Walls taps out Whipple for the lead. Yes! 67-66.
This is going to be a crucial defensive possession here.
Sadlowski slices to the basket and takes the lead right back. 68-67. Walls! Not wasting even a moment. North Central a 30-second timeout, up 69-68.
And that's why I always say when you can push the tempo, you push the tempo, because you get defenses in transition that are a little lackluster, and you find that open man right under the basket for an easy bucket. And now you have the lead with under a minute to go.
52.8 seconds remaining, and wow. After not scoring for the first 5.5 minutes of the third quarter, suddenly here we are, approaching the 70s, and North Central keeping pace with this Lady Reds team. It's been a fun quarter and a half of basketball to close this one out.
It really has, and it's not really a knock against the Cardinals that they did score in the third quarter. They've had their struggles this season. They're going to have struggles throughout the rest of the season, but it's how you respond, and they've responded here tonight.
Let's see how they respond in the final 50 seconds. Double team comes, and Harris able to squirm out of it. Off the leg of Harrison, rolls out of bounds. So now the Cardinals, if they so please, can wind the clock down to 10 seconds.
And this is a situation that the Cardinals have not found themselves in, is a lead with very little time left to go.
And I think because of that, what you just said, Michelle Roof wants to take a timeout, and the full timeout will be taken. So in this huddle, if you're Michelle Roof, if you're Mark Youngs and Eric Gruber, the three coaches in the huddle, what are you telling your team in this instance?
Relax. That's the big key here. You're up by 1 with 33 seconds to go, and you have the ball. You don't need to overdo anything on the offensive end. You just need to get good ball movement, have a good possession, get a good shot off, and make sure that you convert, and if you don't, you have to get back on defense.
What kind of shot do you want here?
Well, preferably a shot in the flow of the offense, but personally, I would choose something a little closer to the basket. We stressed it earlier on. It's a high percentage look, and it's really what's helped them get back into this game is getting those good close shots, which open up the outside game where they have converted and got themselves the lead.
Last question for you. The trifecta of questions. What's more important, wasting this clock or getting a high efficient shot?
I think wasting the clock is the key to this possession, but if you have a wide open look in the flow of the offense close to the basket, you have to take it, because then that puts pressure on the Lady Reds to convert a 3 to even tie the game.
Underneath, Dimitrova. Off the glass, no good. Walls corrals the rebound and fouled. Maya Walls with what a terrific night.
And that's a big play right there. It was an okay look by Dimitrova, a good shot attempt. And Walls has been playing really well all night, just in the right spot at the right time. And now, you really needed to convert on these points, but the nice thing is you still have another shot, and you still can come down and play good defense. Don't foul on defense.
Has to hit this one. Hits the second, and a timeout taken by Tim Bernero. 70-68, 12 and a half seconds to go.
And this is good situation for the Cardinals. A little more pressure now on them without having the ball. But it'll be good for them down, especially in the long run, to play in situations like this. You're up 2 on defense with 12 seconds to go. What do you do on the defensive end? Do you double team? Do you play the passing lanes?
Do you sink back and maybe allow, if they want to take a 3, take a low percentage 3? Or do you take away at the 3-point line and make sure they don't get the win? Endless possibilities.
Endless possibilities, yes. I think you defend anything. You want to make them take a tough shot, and that's really the key. If they take a tough shot as a defense, you want that, and you'll take it. If they make it and you played good defense, there's not anything you can do. Sometimes there's just cases of better offense.
Tim Bernero puts down his basketball board, his dry erase board. The play has been drawn and seemingly, I'm guessing, erased so nobody else can see it. 12 and a half seconds to go. And here we go. Harris Down low, Sidlowski for the tie. Timeout taken by Coach Michelle Roof. 5.4 seconds remaining, and it's Sidlowski who ties the game at 70 on a beautiful screen and slip to the basket.
Yeah, and it was interesting, probably due to some foul trouble, why Maya Walls wasn't down low. She was up top guarding on the three-point line, and in a game where Sidlowski has really beaten you down low, you have to wonder why there weren't more bodies down low.
An easy basket converted. Makes it 70 all with 5.4 seconds to go. And the Cardinals have options on the offensive end. They've had great performances from Maya Walls and Mason Whipple, and Lindsey Brennan has had a nice night getting to the rim. Dimitrova was the person who they went to trying to take a three-point lead. We'll see if she breaks a huddle with the Cardinals and come back out onto the floor. But the options are endless for Michelle Roof in this instance. It'll be, or at least I know I'm curious to see who gets the shot.
I think in a situation like this, you ride the hot hand, and it could be Whipple or Brennan in this situation. I think Brennan has had a little more down the stretch, but I expect Whipple.
Here's Whipple for three. Short, and we're going to overtime. From our point of view, that looked real good.
It was on target, just not enough oomph behind that shot.
So to overtime we go. We'll step aside as we reset. We'll be right back on NCTV 17. Here we go. Overtime is here. And Carthage wins. I almost just said the opening tip.
We're long from the opening tip.
Vukovic loses the ball going up. Walls secured it, and a jump ball will belong to NCC. So a good night continues for Maya Walls, and a nice defensive stand to open up overtime. So how did we get here? It's a great question. It's kind of a whirlwind at this point. The Cardinals trailed by as much as 11 in this game. They hadn't scored 5.5 minutes into the third quarter. They were trailing by 11 at that point. Dimitrova goes under the basket, gets it stripped away. But they made a surge. They took the lead. Carthage came from behind and tied it up with 5 seconds remaining at 70. And Mason Whipple's three came up short of the buzzer. Here, she's a little strong. Walls again, the offensive board. And the Cardinals get a chance to reset.
Yeah, and Maya Walls and Lindsey Brennan were really big for the Cardinals down the stretch. So as we see just now.
Down the stretch or still?
I'm assuming we're going to see a lot more of them here in overtime.
Walls 9 of 13 from the floor, 3 of 7 from behind the arc, 23 points tonight in hope. By the way, 9 rebounds. She does have 4 personal fouls. Vukovic blocked by Walls.
But if you're Maya Walls right now, I feel like you're not playing with that 5th foul on your mind. You're playing so well right now. You just want to help your team in any way possible, which also is a double-sided sword because you want to play hard and aggressive, but you really can't.
Brennan in the lane. And that is a travel, and it didn't get called. And on the floor, a jump ball belongs to Carthage. Very questionable no call. Pivot foot was her left foot, and she wound up on her right.
Yeah, and to kind of get a little deeper into the travel rule, that is actually technically legal. If you have your pivot foot to take one step with your other foot, as long as it's in the motion of a shot.
Offensive foul taken by Dimitrova. Apparently that is not legal.
No, I would assume not.
Tim Bernero arguing that call. North Central leads 72-70, 2:55 to play. Thanks for joining us tonight. It's been a fun night of basketball inside Gregory Arena. A little sleepy early, certainly has everybody awake now. As we sit in overtime, halfway through, and the Cardinals up by 2 over the Carthage Lady Reds. Brennan with it, over to Dickerson for 3. Oh my goodness! What does she have to do to buy a three-pointer?
She's gotten plenty of good open looks too, and it's tough when you're a shooter to see it continue to fall out like that.
Dimitrova collects, and Whipple will wait. How about this one? There we go! 75-70.
That's what you do if you're a shooter. You keep shooting to get out of your slumps.
Brennan will draw a foul. She can't believe it.
Good aggressive play there by Brennan, though, to really put the pressure on them after a big 3 like that. It's something you like to see.
Great play across the board tonight for North Central. Lindsey Brennan, 13 points, 3 rebounds, a couple of assists, a steal as Kalis knocks down the first. And she drops a pair. Not a chance Whipple comes off the floor for the rest of this game. The only way Walls is leaving is if she picks up her 5th. That's how well she's playing.
I think at this point, if you're Michelle Roof, you're going with your best 5 until it doesn't work.
Kalis fouled from behind by Brennan, who was stripped a moment earlier. Minute 35 to go in overtime, and Kalis right back at the charity stripe. That is Lindsey Brennan's 2nd. And both teams over the limit. So any foul from either team will result in free throws for however long this game goes. And at this pace, who knows? Back and forth we go. 75-74. Dickerson, Walls, dives to the basket and rattles it home.
The Cardinals have ran that play to perfection all night long. I don't see them going away from it anytime soon, especially if they continue to yield results like that.
Harris for the tie, a rainbow 3, soft on the rim and pulled down by Walls. Under a minute to go, Gregory Arena hosting quite a bout. A conference matchup. Both teams 0-1 in the CCIW. Cardinals still searching for their first victory of the 2017 calendar. I shouldn't say that. I should say at least the 2017-2018 season. Whipple a 3. Off the mark, and Brennan the rebound out to Walls, over to Whipple, and they can take this down to 8 seconds instead. They'll take the foul and the free throws.
That was a good play by Morgan Harris to foul there. Obviously, you don't want a lot of time going off the clock, especially after giving up an offensive rebound. It's going to be up to the Cardinals now to really lock this down.
That's not going to help either as Whipple misses the first. Splits a pair. And the timeout taken by Tim Bernero. And is it a 30-second timeout? So you're down by 4. You have essentially 1 possession worth of clock remaining. I'm guessing you just go for the quickest good look you can find?
Yeah, I would say so. It's a 2-possession game now, unless by some
4-point play.
4-point play. But you have to assume that this is a 2-possession game, and you want a good look, and you'll need it pretty quickly, because if you run the full shot clock, you only have 4 seconds left after that. So if the Lady Reds, you want to have some urgency, but you also don't want to jack something up and completely lose any sort of hope for this game.
Sidlowski's been the go-to option. She was the one to tie the game up with 5 seconds to go in regulation. 10 of 19 from the floor, 21 points. That's a team high, only behind Maya Walls in the game. Walls with 25, but here comes Kalis for the 3. Knocks it through to pull Carthage to within 1, and another timeout taken by Bernero. That is their final timeout.
And this is the part of the game where free throws are going to either make your team win or break and kill your team.
We'll see whose hands they put it into off the inbound. I'm guessing with this amount of time remaining, the Lady Reds can go for the strip and resort to the foul as opposed to just immediately having to draw a whistle, which would tell me that Mason Whipple would be a good candidate to receive this inbound if they can work it out that way.
Absolutely, and it could go either way. You could play for the steal, and that's what you want to do as a defense. You play for the steal initially. And obviously the Cardinals at this point are going to hold the basketball and get as much clock off as possible. But it's going to be up to your players to knock down your free throws at that point, because as soon as you get the ball inbounded, the defense is more than likely going to foul. And you haven't really seen the Cardinals hit free throws at a high clip tonight. And at this point, it's really hurt them.
4 of 8 from the charity stripe. Meanwhile, Carthage 14 of 18. That's a 78% clip.
And I mean, it's not necessarily a knock on the Cardinals. You can, praise the Lady Red for playing really good defense without fouling, especially in the act of shooting.
Lindsey Brennan to inbound. Inbounded to Whipple, and Whipple is fouled by Harris. Didn't look like she was trying to intentionally foul her. Gets called for the ticky-tack foul. That is her 3rd. And now Whipple, shouldered with the burden, trying to knock in a pair and make it a 3-point game.
And that's the benefit of fouling so early in the shot. Fouling so early with this much time left is it gives you a good amount of time to get off a good possession and a good shot.
Whipple knocks down a pair, 80-77. Keep in mind that Carthage is out of timeouts.
At this point, you have to double team Kalis.
Gilbert can also pull. A bad shooting night, though. 2 of 8 from the floor. Outside Harris for 3 for the tie. No. Dimitrova the rebound, and a foul with 10.6 seconds to go. Cardinals can smell their first victory of the season.
And they are not out of the woods yet. You need to hit your free throws. I'll keep saying it. It's what's going to win this game for them, essentially. And if you miss both here, it puts the Lady Red back into a similar situation.
Misses the front end. So this is a crucial free throw. Only Maya Walls is in there to try and rebound. Doesn't matter. 4-point game. Cardinals can just let whatever happens happen.
Don't foul. That's the big thing.
Kayla's for three. Off the mark. Walls try to keep it in bounds. And with 2 seconds remaining, Carthage will have a chance. But down by 4, slim to none.
Yeah, at this point, you're pretty confident that you've won the game. We've seen some crazy things happen in the sports world, but at this point, I don't know.
Kayla's for three, no good, and the Cardinals upset Carthage. Call it an early season game, whatever you want to say. This is a huge win for North Central. Coming in 0-5, 0-1 in conference, to take down a Lady Reds team that is 4-2 coming in. Big time victory for this Cardinal team.
Absolutely. It was a back and forth game, and as you said, a very big win, despite it being maybe on the outside looking in a meaningless early season game. But it's now 1-5 as opposed to 0-6. And that's a really big difference for a team's confidence. And you can take as many negatives and as many positives as you want from today's game. But at the end of the day, a W is a W, ugly or not.
How about some individual performances? Maya Walls, 25 points and 10 rebounds, a tremendous double-double for her in 29 minutes of action. Mason Whipple, 13 points, 4 of 13 from the floor, but she was such a spark plug, 8 assists on the night. And the only other Cardinal in double figures, Lindsey Brennan, who came up with a couple of big plays, a big steal down the stretch in regulation, was a steady presence in overtime as well. But that'll do it for our coverage of Cardinal basketball tonight. Join us on Saturday. We have a double feature. The women's team at 5 o'clock, the men's team at 7 o'clock. And on Saturday, it'll be Illinois Wesleyan invading Gregory Arena. Until then, I'm Kevin Jackman for Zach Bucher, our on-site producer and cameraman Ryan Risky, our studio man Caleb Donaldson. We'll say good night, and we'll see you Saturday on NCTV 17 and on NCTV17.com.